Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and I forgot to turn on my lights. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and turn these on. It's a little bit dark and gloomy here. Okay. Is that any better? Okay. I'm just sitting here waiting to go live and forgot to do something kind of important there. I am broadcasting to you today live from Gaithersburg, Maryland, where it is a gloomy 40 degrees and overcast and gray. And I'm so looking forward to seeing the sun again. That's all I'm going to say. We had some beautiful days, a couple of beautiful days last week, but for the most part, the last few 4 or 5 days have been just overcast and just really good crochet weather. So, yeah, so let's put a positive spin on this one. And I'm a Florida girl. I grew up seeing the sunshine almost every day, except during hurricanes, maybe, and occasional rain showers. But yeah, the northern weather is great in some ways, but it kind of can get to me a little bit sometimes too. Anyway, how are you guys doing out there? Hope you're doing well. Um, Finished another week of working hard. Had a really good time this week with the two yarn classes that I took or taught. Mostly because of an administrative glitch on my end entirely. So thank you all for showing me grace and giving me another shot. Those of you who are in the watch channel, you know what I'm talking about. But we had a really great time. Went through a lot of yarn. This is just a little sampling of my 10 favorite all-time yarns, which is accurate at the moment. Of course, that's always subject to change when I meet new yarns. But in the future, be looking for a video of my top 10 yarns. So just give you a little teaser and throw that out there. Well, let me go ahead and say hello to you all in the chat. Kelly, you have a lot of messages. Thank you so much, hon. I read through all of them, getting ready. Um, I do like your idea about a contest for people who crochet their project and see who wins the prize. But I have an even better idea for you in that regards, and that is you enter your local fair, your local county and state fairs that most counties and states have. I think that's a fantastic way to meet local crafters, to get to give you something to work towards locally. And in some cases, you can win some nice pocket change to go out and buy more yarn later on, or whatever. I used to do that a lot before I went kind of professional, and I love that. I still love seeing all those ribbons. I have every single one of mine in a box up here. I've collected them, and I'm gonna die with them in my house because they're so important to me. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I would encourage you to check out your local fair. But I will be thinking about how I could maybe implement that. And as far as the babies are concerned, the babies are doing well. I think I get to FaceTime regularly with Rex, and then occasionally with my other grandson. So really enjoying that. Just wish I was closer to see them more often. That's the only downside to it. Good morning, Angie and Alana. I'm so glad you could join us. And Wanda Gordon, always good to see you, my friend, from Bahama, North Carolina. And thank you for your prayers for everybody. Before going live today, I was praying through my crochet friend prayer list as well. So, and some of your names were coming up, and just trying to be faithful where I can. And thank you, Alana, for the reminder about the thumbs up. If you want to hit that thumbs up, that would be appreciated. But again, no pressure at all. Thank you. 24 thumbs up. Wow, that's pretty good for the beginning. So thank you for doing that. And Joni says, won't be joining today's chat. Getting fitted with heart monitor. Okay. Some of us know what that looks like. I hope things go well with you, Joni. I hope they don't find anything too major that can't be, fixed easily. And painlessly. Um, wow. And Nico, good to see you in our chat. She says, hello, everyone. Hadn't been here the last time as I was now the third time in the hospital last weekend. Glad I'm here today again. Oh boy. Well, our demographic does have a lot going on these days, don't we? I certainly hope everything is gonna be well with you, Nico. I'm gonna write that down. Let me add you. Um, Hospital and also Joni. I just want to write these down, so I'll put them on my list in my phone once the program is done. Be thinking of you all in prayer going forward. Linda Bradsma, good to see you in the chat. She says from sunny and cool Southwest Chicago suburbs, and thank you for the prompt there on the thumbs up. You're really good about that. And Red Hooked, I hope things are going well with you. You were on my list this morning. And she's joining us from a chilly, sunny day in Northeast Ohio. Yeah, you got the sun though. Can you send that sun over here? We haven't seen him in a while. And I just got a ton of things load. Hold on, let me catch up. Yeah, and Kelly's asking for you to keep us posted, Joni. She said it's an ongoing heart issue. I will go ahead and write that. It's already written down, so I can transfer it when we're done. And good morning to you, Sandra, from Southern California. And love to craft, waving right back at you, my friend. And thank you. Hold on a second here. Okay. Hold on. Let me shut this. Let me shut something out here for a second. I don't have to have my editing open, so give my computer a chance to not work quite as hard as it needs to. Let's see, where did I go? All right, here we go. Yeah. So Denise, good morning to you. I hope everybody is doing well in your household. And Joanne, is it Van Diver? Hello to you too. Welcome to our chat. And we have, my friend Jeannie, Proverbs 31 lady. Hello to you. I like your Instagram post, Jeannie. I saw it this morning with all those profiles of yourself. Really cool. You're such a pretty lady. Thanks for sharing that and just being in our community. You're such an asset to our little crochet world. And Esther, good to see you. I hope things are going well for you over there in New Jersey. We have to get together sometime. We need to do that. And just to let Joanne Van Diver know, yeah, we usually start at 12 noon Eastern time. I try to be as honor that as much as possible. Occasionally, we've had computer glitches or some broadcasting oopsie. Hopefully today you guys are doing well. I know AT&T had that massive, at least on the East Coast. I don't know if it was on the West Coast. They had a huge outage in our area. So I don't know if you guys were affected by that, but hopefully things are back. I think I've got service again. We use AT&T, so my kids were all out, and it's kind of interesting. I'm glad they got that worked out. And Esther says, just dropping by to say hello. I would love to stay, but I'm busy with some stuff to do. Yeah, we get that, Esther. And you can always watch the rebroadcast if you'd like. We have Patricia in the chat. I have never done a live chat before. Help. You're doing great, Patricia. We just comment in the live chat if you'd like to. And it's just a time when we just kind of visit with each other. And I kind of show you some new things. Well, let me go ahead and show you what is coming on Monday. This is an older design. Let's see, this book, I believe, was published in 2016. So it's coming out of an 8-year-old book. This is the Lavina poncho. It is made of 2 panels that are slip stitched together. And let me show you, the bottom of it has the ribbed trim. And I have been asked many, many, many times to make this. This is the same design that is on the cover of Celtic Cable Crochet, because when I wrote this book, I signed all rights, as is a common thing, over to the publisher. And this was, like I said, this was back in 2016, 2015, I believe is when it came out. For some reason, they always have all this information in the back. Yeah, 2016. Which means I was working on the designs 2014. So I was working on designs more than 10 years ago, but it takes a while for publication to come out. But because I don't own the rights to this, I cannot offer you a PDF. I do honor my contracts when I sign with people. I honor them. I have to. I just want to stay within the law. And because of that, if you want to follow along with the written pattern, unfortunately, it's just available in the book. But if you do purchase the book, I just want you to know that there are several, at least 3 or 4 other designs where I have videos on my YouTube channel to help you. And I have stitch videos for all the stitches that I use in this book. So if you go to my homepage on my channel and you click on playlist and just look for the icon Celtic Cable Crochet, if you click on that, there's a playlist that has all of the design, well, not all the designs in the book, but it has a few of the designs that I've made for the book there, as well as a list of all of the videos that you'll need to learn all of the stitches used by the designs in the book. So I really hope that is helpful. Um, and Kelly's wondering if I've posted any of the patterns that you sent. I did post some, Kelly. I may not post everything that I'm sent, but I did post some. I need to go check my list again in my photos. And DL Crisp has a question. I recently purchased your pamphlet of self-striping projects through Leisure Arts. Are there any videos available for these patterns, specifically the shoulder wrap? Okay, again, no, there. Wait a minute. Let me look at that. Let me go get a copy of that book. Hold on a second, and I'll answer that question. All right. I've got a lot of different books out there. Okay, this is the book she's referring to, and I'm guessing you're wanting to know about this design. There is not a specific tutorial for that design, but there are stitch videos for all of the stitches that I use. That said, there is a complete video tutorial for this design, and that's called Sweet Baby Blanket. And there's another design, this one right here. This is another rainbow baby blanket, but it's this was one from years ago. I do have a video for this design as well out of this book. Okay. And this is using just self-striping yarn, which I absolutely love, by Lion Brand. And I did do another one, I thought. I've wanted to do another one out of here, but I have not done the shoulder wrap yet. But hopefully with the stitch videos on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to do this. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Email is bonniebay@me.com. I do answer email throughout the week. Weekends are off limits. So if you have a crochet emergency on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to, I will answer you on Monday if it's, if I'm able. But generally speaking, I stay away from the computer just so that I have a weekend, because mail and everything is coming in 24 hours a day because of the World Wide Web, which is wonderful. But I have to set, limits on just pulling away from it. Okay. Great question. Thank you for sending that to me, Hannah. And we have Diane. Is it Catalano or Catalano? So glad to have you here. And Tammy from Oregon. And and Jan's good to see you in our chat, my friend. And and thank you again, Jeannie, for your sweet blessings. And Ginger, good to see you in our chat. Welcome to our little group here. And Patrice, first time watching your live. You're so welcome. And Felicia, glad to have you here too. And Shatika, good afternoon to you, my friend. And and okay, Nico? Okay, Nico. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that in there before. Okay, and Anna Marie, glad to have you here. And Jan says, I'm here. I've had to work the last couple of Fridays. Well, thank you for serving when you have to work. I know that happens to the best of us, but thank you for being there for those who really needed you there, Jan, locally. And is it We Three Bees? That's a great name. So glad you're here. And Denise is joining us from New Jersey. Probably not far from Esther, Denise. And Karen, good afternoon. And Wendy, it's good to see you in the chat. I need to go visit you. I need to just look at your hours again and visit you at the yarn store. And hope your dad and husband are recovering. I know you had a rough couple of weeks there. I was praying for you this morning and just hoping your family is getting better. Um, and good morning, Felicia, or good afternoon, I should say. And Nico says, "Hope everything is fine," to Hannah. Yeah, I think Hannah's a blessing. She's just such a trooper. If y'all think of Hannah, please pray for her because she is a full-time caregiver for an elderly person, and which is a wonderful job. It's also can be one of the more difficult jobs, I think, on this earth. Um, but she's doing a fantastic job and trying to do a little school on the side as well, and it can be a little tough to balance even those two things. So thank you for just in advance for caring for her as she cares for others. um, and Alexandra joining us from Germany. Wow. Love visiting your country, Alexandra. My husband loved the Autobahn, of course, and dreams of it occasionally, but we're limited by numbers on our speed limit signs here, which is a good thing, actually. And Jan says it's sunny and 46 degrees in Illinois. And Cecilia is joining us from sunny El Paso, Texas. Oh, I remember El Paso. I was there back in 2006 as we were heading into Juarez to go to the Rancho 3M and spend a week or more there working on the compound. Quite fun, hot memories. It was like 108 degrees in the shade. I remember that well. Wore a cowboy hat the entire time just to keep from dying. It reminded me a lot. I will say this about El Paso, Cecilia. It reminded me a lot of my hometown of Hialeah, Florida, with with the Spanish speaking all around and the warm weather, the humidity. Except there was more humidity there than there is obviously in El Paso. But yeah, it was quite a memory. And then when it rained, it was interesting because you're in the desert there, and the rain has no place to go. So just seeing that happen was quite interesting. This when we were getting ready to head back to the airport, and I was driving a 15 passenger van full of kids, or kids, but teenagers, young adults. So that was quite an adventure doing that. And that was back in the days um, before we were carrying these things around with us. Crazy times. Um, let's see. I lose my voice all the time. And Terry, great to have you in our chat. I hope things are going well with you. And I think you have a small business still there. I hope that is going well, if I'm remembering correctly. There's a good chance I'm not, but anyway. Um, And Ola Joe, good to see you. I like watching your videos. And for those of you looking for more yarnies to follow, check out Ola Joe, the Crocheting Sailor. She has a YouTube channel she is starting. So, please give her a view or two. She's quite entertaining on her shorts. as the short videos is what I mean by that. I think you understood that, but just in case some of us didn't. So yeah, so glad that you could join us, and it's always fun to have you in the classes on the Zoom classes with the Watch channel. And Dawn Anderson, glad you could join us. She says, it's been a long time since I've been on here. I've been sick for a while with pneumonia. No, Dawn, get better. Oh, that's awful. And Jan says, hey, Hannah Banana. Yep. And yeah. And we have Joanne in our chat. Thank you for joining us. And I think I just love it the way you all are welcome each other. That's great. Okay, and Shasha wants to know, how difficult is it to make the Celtic cable throw compared to the winter white throw? Uh, if you can do the winter white throw, you're not going to have any trouble, in my estimation, of the Celtic cable throw. You might learn some new stitches because the Celtic cable throw it's more of a stitch sampler, but using the video, if you could get through the winter white, you're good on this. It shouldn't be a problem. And the Celtic sampler, the Celtic cable crochet one, is a smaller throw, so you'll probably finish it a lot faster. I was given the size specifications to make that smaller. But if you wanted to make it longer, I think if you add, let me think on this a minute. I think multiples, you can always add multiples of 12 to the original starting chain, excuse me, if you want to make that a little bit longer. And that's generally what you would need to do with a lot of these, except for the colorful cable throw, which is crocheted differently. And that multiple that you would need to add to the original starting chain is 24, which I know this is all sounds geeky. If you didn't understand what I just said, don't worry about it. One day you will, if you want to make any of these things bigger, smaller, whatever. I get that question asked a lot. So I just went ahead and answered it before you asked it, Shasha, just in case. Anyway, let's see. And again, Margita, it's good to have you in the chat. And thank you for your blessings, Dawn. And let's see. Oh, we have Christine Murphy from Ohio. And Tracy Hamilton, I hope you're doing well. I hope health and everything is going better for you. She says, I haven't been here in a while. Yeah, welcome back. And Angie, good morning to you. And Archer Nace, good to see you in our chat. Terry, hope you and Beth and the kitties and everybody are doing well. And Catherine, thank you for joining us. And let's see. And Nadine, good to have you with us. And yeah. And I just got a bunch of things load. Hold on a second. I am falling so far behind. Oh, thank you, Shasha, for your encouragement about the tutorials. I do try hard. I have gotten better just because I started out pretty awkward and not exactly knowing what I was doing back in 2011, but I'm hoping that I've learned from my mistakes. I'm learning from new mistakes every day going forward. And you know how that is. Thank you, Archer Nace, for your kind gift here. Let me go ahead and jot that down so I don't forget that going forward. Hold on, guys. Okay, let me write this down. I don't have an accountant or somebody do all this stuff, so I just do it myself. Well, thank you. You brought us up to $25 towards our next donation, which will be to the Rancho 3M, which is not far from our friend in El Paso. All right. So Alexandra has a question. I'm currently making that my first crocheted sweater you're wearing. Do you think it will work with a cowl neck? Absolutely. If you wanted to. Okay, this is what she's talking about. I'm wearing the sweater called My First Crochet Sweater, and I even have some of the yarn left over. This is I use this yarn. It's from Knit Picks. It's a DK weight. Of course, you can use any yarn you want, but this is a blend of wool and alpaca. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday, I think, in our All About Yarn class on Zoom. But this is a sweater. It's made basically in one piece, and you have a seam. Do we have a seam? Yeah, a seam that goes all the way down the arm and the side. So you're making this really in one piece. Then you come back and you add the ribbing, and you can make this as long or as short as you want. But she's asking, can you make this into a cowl? Absolutely. I would just continue on, just continue with the ribbing, and just make it as big or as you'd like. It should work out fine. It's not going to be a super tight cowl either, because you can see it's it's you have plenty of room here. It's not going to be a choker. So yeah. Uh, and Felicia, thank you for praying for our crochet friends. You all are so great about that. And we have Patricia from Arizona. She said, you can take our son. It will be hot today. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. Just send it over anytime. We're waiting. I can probably send you some of this overcast so that you can have cooler weather. How's that? Oh, aren't you glad we can't do that? Because I know we would mess things up really bad. And Ada Yarn Arts, welcome. I'm glad you are joining us today. And Heather, she says she's working on the hill far away throw. Oh, you're so sweet. She said it's a brilliant pattern and looks fabulous so far. Yay. Thank you for that pattern and all your work. My pleasure, Heather. And I hope this doesn't sound like boasting, because I don't want it to sound like boasting, but I want it to sound like thankfulness, and want to thank you guys and girls and the gals and everybody who invested and bought one of my patterns. You have made that throw, and let me show you which one she's talking about. It's right here. It's the On the Hill Far Away. It has the 3 crosses in the center, which of course represents the crucifixion of Jesus on Golgotha. And I just thought this would be a fun and hopefully a meaningful throw to crochet as we are now in Lent, leading up to the time of the crucifixion and, of course, his resurrection. But there are many, many, many different stitches in here, and I tried to attach a spiritual meaning to them, right on down to the crowns that surround the cross, because he is not wearing the thorns anymore. Praise God. He's wearing crowns. I mean, beyond our imagination, because he is the King of Kings. But anyway, so this throw, it's too big to really get in all at once. But your support has made this in the #1 chair right now of crochet designs on Lovecraft. So thank you for that. I know it's a very seasonal thing, but I think you can probably, crochet things like this all year round. I do. I do. It doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. I'm always working on a throw or sweater or something. But thank you again, Heather, for your support there. I so appreciate that. Oh, and Elaine says, oh, yeah, glad you could join us, Elaine. She says, finally got to watch you this week. Hope you're having a good day. Yes, ma'am, I am. And meeting with you guys just always makes my day. Okay, and then from Shasha, she says, do all the Celtic cable throws have multiples of 12? Not necessarily. That's just for finding the general multiple, and whenever I say it has a multiple of 12, that doesn't mean it's always a straight multiple, because you always have to take into account the stitches at the beginning and at the end of the throw. I get people saying, "Oh, but that's not a straight multiple." And I said, "I never said it was." I'm saying, when I answer people on YouTube, because you can kind of get some snarky comments on there sometimes, and I try not to get snarky back, because that wouldn't be good form, wouldn't be very nice. But I try to explain that, well, I never really said that. It's if you take the original starting chain, you can add multiples of, whatever the least common denominator is of the stitches. So it really depends on which stitches are in use. Now, some of the Celtic cable throws are crocheted vertically. Is that right? Am I doing it right? Vertically? And and in that case, you can't just add multiples if you have a lot of cables going this way as you're crocheting this way. That's a design change. That's I don't answer questions on that one because again, that's a redesign, and I don't do redesigns. At least not off the top of my head because that's dangerous. And I just don't have the time to do that because I spend a lot of time designing these and then to change it up and add it to how you want it to make it fit your king size bed. I can't do that. You have to do that on your own because there's so many. I'm going to throw out more math terms at you. If you, those of you who remember your algebra, the variables. There's a lot of different variables. So it's not a one answer fix. There's the crochet style. What size hook are you using? What kind of yarn are you using? And then those combined can yield different results from what I already get, if that makes any sense. So that's why I say you can add multiples of whatever. And it is usually 12, like in the two that Shasha asked me about, the winter white, which are all crocheted, crocheting just one stitch at a time. Those are easy to give a multiple for the length. That and the Celtic cable throw, those are easy. The ones that are crocheted with primarily post stitches, I that's different. That's a whole different kettle of fish, so it doesn't work the same way. So, yeah, we're getting into the deep end of the pool mathematically here. From from is it Jetton? Says, "I'm hoping to make your cable blanket from the Celtic Cabled Blankets book." The blanket on the front cover. Okay. What yarn would you recommend for it? Celtic Cabled Blankets. That would be, I'm trying to think which one you. Okay, it's not Four Seasons, it's not Celtic Cabled Throws. If you're talking, well, let me go ahead and I don't know if you're talking this one or, well, it really doesn't matter. I I currently I enjoy, and do I have an example of this? I do. Currently, my opinion, which is always subject to change, like I said, if I meet different yarn, I think this is a good yarn for the value, um, for doing that. You can order them online. They have sales, and if you order it over a certain, I think it's $65, you get free shipping. Now that's for in the US and the UK. If you're outside of the US and the UK, um, I would just say use whatever you have available. Now, you may like some other kinds of yarn, let's say from Joann's or Michael's, and they have good sales too. So, I mean, I would suggest whatever yarn in the 100% acrylic, uh, number 4 worsted weight yarn selection, whichever yarn you personally like. It really, they're all, similar enough. It's not gonna make, that big of a difference, but I would stick with the solid color of something, and lighter colors generally work better than the dark colors. I would stay away from, the blacks, navy blue, deep, dark purples and stuff like that, but that's just me personally because those will not show the stitches as well. But, you can use those darker colors. It's really up to you. Um but I hope that I answered that question, 'cause I hear sometimes from people they're concerned because they can't buy the paint box yarn in the area of the world where they live, and I'm just there's nothing so extra special about this. I mean, it is a good quality. There are many others on the market, and you could probably get some yarn cheaper for sure. I know, the Joanne Twist yarn or the main yarn that they carry that's their brand now, they have a lot of different colors. I've never used it. I don't know how it does in terms of pilling and so forth, but it's a lot cheaper even than the paint box. So if you like that and your budget is, as such that you can't afford more expensive yarn, get whatever you can and by all means wait for a sale. These yarn companies have a sale at the drop of a hat. Look at your calendar, look at the next, like we just had President's Day, or Washington's birthday was last week. And they had a lot of sales. Look for a sale, and definitely use those coupons when you go. So I hope that answers your question. Um, Also, let's see what else. Which blanket pattern? Oh, the blanket that I just showed was On a Hill Far Away, Easter Throw. That's the one that I just showed you. Um, Kelly wants to know, what age did I start crocheting? I was 7 years old, and really wanted to learn before then, but didn't have anybody that would sit down with me. And my next door neighbor, after I kept showing up to her house and bugging her, she eventually sat down with me and started me on my first giant, just one giant granny square blanket, which I finished when I was 9, and it fits a double bed. So yeah, I still have it, and it's made out of probably the cheapest yarn that was available, because that's all we had in the 1970s. I do have some good news for you all. This has been sold out on Amazon and on Leisure Arts for a while. I mean, I think it sold out sometime back in November. And I'm here to tell you, they finally got them back in stock. So they are back in stock if you're looking for, a hard copy. Um, I did do, I'll show you the one complete throw that I was given permission to do, because I don't own the rights. That's not it. There are 5 throws in here. I did crochet this one for my channel. And in this booklet, it's really a good price. It says $8.95 for 5 patterns, and the booklet and everything. And again, I do have one pattern, like I said, on a complete video tutorial on my channel. However, all the stitch videos that I think all but maybe the shadow box, maybe I do have the shadow box on there now, but I think all the videos, all the stitches that are represented in this book are in video format on my channel. Just, sample stitch videos so that you know how to do the stitch. So anyway, that is back, and I want to tell Kayla Buck at Leisure Arts, thank you for being proactive and working with me and getting that back in stock. That's the only one that I have. I don't have them yet in my Etsy store. That's the only copy I have left right now. So I am placing an order this as soon as Caleb gets back to me today on the email. I will be placing an order for those, and I'll return those back to my Etsy store. And for those of you who don't know, I do have a small Etsy store. There's a link in the video description below. And if you want, any of the books, or anything, I have, I think, most of them available there. If I've got them in my house, I've got them available on my Etsy store. And I sign all the books before they go out. And most of them ship for free. So if the price looks a little more expensive than maybe on Amazon or whatever, it's because I'm shipping it out. I'm taking care of the postage as well. And that's only in the US, unfortunately. If I have to ship outside, even just to Canada, it doubles and triples the price. And it's much easier for you to just buy it within your country. A lot of these, even my self-published books, are available on Amazon. Amazon in Germany, Amazon in Japan, Amazon in Europe, UK. So if you have Amazon where you live, the books should be available there. And especially my self-published ones, they are available worldwide. So, and it, again, a lot cheaper than ordering them from me. I'd be happy to send you one, but you're not going to be happy with what the price of postage is, because it has gone up prohibitively. Um, for us here, at least in the US. And Shasha wants to know, which one should I do first in terms of difficulty, Celtic cable throw or winter white throw? Um, Shasha, I think there are more stitches to learn in the Celtic cable throw. You might like that. The rows are going to be shorter than in the winter white throw, like probably 50 to 60 stitches per row shorter. So that might be easier for you. but there are a lot of overlap. A lot of all the I think most all of the stitches that were in the winter white are in the Celtic cable, but just in a shorter version of them. Um, and Kelly wants to know how many skeins of yarn did you use for my first sweater? Honestly, honey, I don't remember. But if you look at the video, at the beginning of the video, I always put that information in. So if you go to this my first crochet sweater video, and I will show you right at the beginning what I used and how many I used. And it should, if I was doing the setup correctly on the video, you should see it in the video description, but it's definitely in the video itself. Okay. Um, wow. How did we get to 1240 already? May not be able to get to everybody's comments today, but I do appreciate you adding them here. Let me just try to see if I can catch anybody that might be new. Again, I'm just blown away by how you guys pray for each other. I so appreciate that. And Brandy, glad that you could be here. Um, yeah, Brat's mom was talking about that AT&T outage. They had a big outage too. I wasn't affected, but know many who were. Yeah, my son-in-law was hitting the road for a business trip, and he had to carry a second phone from, I don't know, either his work or his private phone. One of the two was not working, so he was having to double up even on phones just to be safe. Um, oh, thank you, Sandra. She says she just loves the color of this poncho. I can never remember the name. Let me see if I can. Nope, I don't have the. I was diligent and I put all the yarn away yesterday, from this and from a lot of the yarn that I had scattered all about me for the class. Took me about 20 minutes to put it all away. I just had to pull from a lot of resources. Um, and I can never remember the name of it, but the name will be written or will be shown you in the video when it goes live on Monday. Oh, good. Elkstrom says, I'm very much enjoying making the Inisheer scarf spring version in cotton. Ooh, I would love to see that. And the scarf that she's talking about is this one right here behind me, and made out of a fingering weight yarn. I used a really nice blend. And do I have that yarn here? Yes, I do. And the yarn that I used, I was showing it to people yesterday. I'll go ahead and show you the tag. I always save my tags, or I try to remember to stick them in the middle of the yarn so that I know what I'm working with. It's always helpful because I can't always remember. This is Banshee Fiber Art Studio is the yarn that I used, and this is the makeup of the yarn. 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, 20% silk. Not the cheapest on the market for sure. This is kind of a fancier yarn, but it's one of my all-time favorites. And I get it from a gal in Columbia, Maryland. It's locally dyed, and it's supporting a local indie dyer. Okay, yeah, Hannah. Yes, I am aware. Just to answer your question. Uh, Let me see. Oh, we have Boone Castell. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your sweet comment. Thank you for joining us today. Um, and I did answer DL Crisp's question because Hannah sent it to me proactively. Thank you, Hannah. And oh yeah, and Felicia says, yeah, she was affected in North Carolina with that. She said, that's my carrier. Yeah, it was ours too, but I just stay inside and worked on the internet most of the day yesterday. I had a lot to do. Oh, thank you, Shasha. Your comments are so sweet. Thank you. And we have Barbara from Texas. And is it Cake Maker? She said, I just finished the Inishbin poncho. Yay. Oh, if you are Cake Maker, I would love to see your cakes because I've dabbled in cake decorating. When you have 5 kids and you have really anywhere between 7 to 9 people living in your household. That's 7 to 9 birthday cakes in a year, not to mention other special occasions. And my kids would say, "Oh, I want this kind of a cake, or I want that kind of a cake." And I look at those at the store and was like, "Oh, those are expensive. Let's try to learn to make them ourselves." So we ended up doing a lot of cakes. Anyway, I'd love to see your cakes if you do those. And we even worked our way up to doing wedding cakes when asked by a friend. And the last cake that I made was my daughter's wedding cake for Becky, um, and that's been a while. So it's been a while since I've done that. Still have all the equipment, but a little bit rusty on it. But I certainly appreciate the work of the sugar art in the kitchen. Ah. And we have Vicky Brown. Good to see you in our chat. Says, I'm making a neon version of your Granny Ripple for my 7-year-old grandson. 8 different colors. I would love to see that. Could you please send me a picture of that when you're done? And if you all ever want to send me photos of your work, it's to bonniebay@me.com. I do like to share them on social media, but I always want your permission before I do that. And speaking of social media, let me just say I'm sorry. I try to jump on things when they don't go right on social media, but I noticed recently, this I think last night, somebody, a stalker of some sort, with a lot of sweet, encouraging words, came on and was under a man's name, about a paragraph long, basically trying to. Uh, we're trying to think of a better way of saying kiss up to, but with all kinds of smooth talking to get your information is what it was, because that same passage was posted numerous times on my channel. This happens periodically. When that happens, if he is trying to get you to respond to them, and you don't know the name, and it's not one familiar to our crochet friends, by all means, please block and report to Facebook. I do that. I did that once I found it, but never feel obligated to respond to anybody you don't want to respond to on any platform, whether it's here now or social media, like on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those things. Never feel any pressure to respond. And I do want to comment on one other thing, and this is not a widespread correction towards anybody in this chat or on my channel right now, because I noticed the name that I'm not even going to mention the name. I don't remember it, but it's not a name that ever comments on any of our work on my channels or my social media platforms. But somebody was taking advantage of people liking a particular uh, photo that I posted. It was actually one of somebody else's work. I believe her name was Caroline. Caroline's work. She made this beautiful. She took this design, Celtic cable throw, and she made it big enough to fit her king size bed, and it's amazing. She had to do a little bit of redesign herself, but she did a great job. I think what she did is she made like 3 very long ones and then put them all together for a king size bed. And you can't even see where the seams are. It's so well done. But so I've gotten a lot of people commenting on that, which is fantastic. That's the goal. It's just to encourage people and to let them know that they can learn how to do these things. But somebody started posting links to take you guys to free land, to free crochet patterns, and that's, they weren't interested in encouraging the person who posted at all. They wanted you to go to their spammy site. So I'm just going to say publicly, please don't post the free crochet go here on any of my social media. And it's not because I don't want you to have free things, but those free things are often sites that steal, that illegally copy things. I have seen some of these sites have stolen pictures that you have sent in, and they take them for their own and then trick people into going to some spammy site that doesn't promise what they are promising you in the picture. So I just I know there might be some good ones out there, but honestly, just I would advise you to stay away from them because they can steal your information. And I just don't trust them. I've been burned enough and I've seen my stuff up here. They'll take my designs or anybody's really, even some I've seen them do this to Annie's, which are also paid patterns. Change the name of the design, but it's still the same design and the same work of the designer. And they will give it away for free. And the reason they do that is when you go to their site, they get paid by the advertisers for how many people look at the site. So they're getting paid, they're making money off of something that they have no business um, handling. Okay. So, and they're not all like that, but there's enough of them out there like that now that I just don't deal with any of that. And that's another reason why I don't like to do free patterns sometimes because then my stuff ends up on these spammy sites and I'm contributing to the problem by doing that. So, and I'm not saying that all people who do free patterns are in that sense, but I'm just saying that I just don't want to deal with them. So, thank you in advance for for hearing that and for honoring that. I know you will. Um, and again, the person that did this, I've never seen them do anything on my sites before. So I know they were just trying to take advantage of a pattern that was doing well on Facebook. So thank you. And Love to Craft wants to know, have you ever posted pictures of your cakes? I'd love to see them. I haven't in a while. There is one cake. I do have a short video. I mean, this is before shorts were a thing. On the day of Becky's wedding, when I was constructing her wedding cake, I did a short. It's like a wedding cake in 1 minute or wedding cake in 20 seconds or something like that. There is a short video on this channel. So if you go to the homepage and look under shorts, I think there's like 2 videos and that's one of them. And it's kind of, if Becky asked me to style it in the style of the Lord of the Rings. So it's a simple cake in that regard. But yeah, you can look at that and you'll see the flower arrangements because part of being a cake decorator is you have to learn flower arranging should the person want live fresh flowers on their cake or even silk flowers or whatever. I remember even decorating one wedding cake. It was when the naked wedding cakes came into popularity, and we decorated it with I don't know, probably like 15 pounds of fruit. I mean, it was a big tall cake and had lots of crystallized candied fruit on it. It was fun. I should post some of those for you. Again, I'm not in the business of doing that, and it was only done for friends because in my county, technically, I'm not allowed to make and sell wedding cakes because I don't own a stainless steel kitchen, and it would cost me tens of thousands of dollars just to get a certified kitchen in my county. So I don't do that. It's just for fun, again, for family and for friends. Um, okay, Hannah wants me to put my email in the chat. I'll go ahead and do that now. All right. Well, I didn't mean to go off on such a rant there. I do want to say hey to everybody. Hey, Carol in Northern California, and Kathy G. Good to have you. Or is it? Yeah, that's right, Kathy G. She said she's still working on the tandem cable scarf. I know which one that is. Yay. And Sophie, she said we enjoy a sunny, cold day in, I guess, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Temperature is 49. I'm working on the Easter throw. I'm about to start the Celtic weave section. Ooh, you've gotten far into that. I'm glad we're still friends. Yay. Just I'm gonna wave to you. We wait. She say you can wave to my son and daughter-in-law. They're somewhere on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. I need to get over there again some point. And we have Joanne. Oh, thank you. She says she loves this sweater with the little speckles. Yeah, this is I showed this already. The knit picks. It's called City Tweed DK, and those little flecks are called Donegal. It's just little flecks of like lint and things that um, it's kind of an Irish kind of wool. or styled after that. Well, I have a couple more announcements I wanted to make. And I think I've shown you most of everything. Uh, I have a new Zoom class for my watch subscribers coming March 5th. So it's coming up soon, March 5th. This might be the only one I get to do for March because I'm going to be traveling in March. My mother in law is going to be celebrating her 95th birthday. So we're going to be there for that, Lord willing. So March 5th from 2 to 4. Then I'm also doing the same class on March 5th from 7 to 9 p.m. These are Eastern Standard Times or Eastern Times, whether we're standard or daylight savings. I can never keep it straight. So I just say Eastern Time. um, and it's going to be called Crocheting Beautiful Trims and Borders. And in this class, we're going to cover the low front ridge, which many of you may already know, but if you don't, it would be a good time to learn it. The low front ridge, the arrow stitch, the cable stitch, that's using the single crochets and chains, and the knurl stitch, which is also called the reverse single crochet or the crab stitch. And it's not a stitch that people generally love, but it's one that has a lot of great texture. It's just a beautiful stitch to separate, cables from. It's just a nice defining stitch. But anyway, we're going to learn those 4 stitches again, March the 5th. And if you're not a watch subscriber, that's easy to fix. And if you want to join that class, and you're a watch subscriber, all you need to do is email me, anytime really up until the day before, up until March 4th. And email me, bonniebay@me.com, say I want to be in the class. That way I will send you the Zoom link when it's time. I'm just trying to be real careful to uh, you just care for privacy of people as we do these classes rather than post these things publicly. I don't really want that to go out and too far and wide. So that's why I'm using my email and being careful about that. But if you're not a watch subscriber, it's easy. You can join. It's $7.95 per month or $79.50 for the year. If you join for the entire year, you have a savings of about 2 months worth or about $15 savings in the year. Um, and you get to watch a lot of the videos that we have here. Plus, there's additional content that does not appear on my public channel. We have some behind the scenes videos. Um, we have designs that appear on that channel that don't appear here, like patterns for the sweater you see behind me, which is generally only available through pattern purchase, but it is on the watch channel with the complimentary patterns. So as I release new patterns, the watch subscribers receive those complimentary, and there are many other patterns when you join that you have available to you right away. Um, so if that's something that's interesting to you, I encourage you to check it out. And again, we do have the live Zoom classes. They're not available any other place other than for my watch subscribers. And or if you decide to travel to a conference that I'm teaching at and take one of my classes, which I would love to meet you that way at some point. So just wanted to let you know about that. Um, yeah. And in case you missed it last week, I this is what I made with those granny squares. Remember the granny squares that I put a little survey out about it? And I've got some great pictures that I took with my friend Molly wearing this. So this is called directionally challenged. So as you can see, you have the arrow stitch is running up and down, and all it goes all the way back and forth, and the granny squares are offset, left and right throughout. And the granny squares were crocheted with self-striping yarn, so you're not changing yarn at the end of every round of the granny square. I don't enjoy that either, and I heard you loud and clear. I hate hiding on those loose strands. Well, so do I, but it's a necessary evil. There are some strands to be hidden. This is joined with a slip stitch, and I think it just helped to enhance more the boho look, and it also just helps you to see the color. So anyway, this is, and it's also all cotton, so it'll be nice and cool for be a nice spring uh, accessory without one that's going to heat you up too much. So that will be coming sometime this spring. I think I'm going to try to get it out by March, which is right around the corner. Um, we'll see. I'll see. If not March, then April. But where I live, it's still plenty cold enough to wear things like that until early May. And if you see me at a conference anytime soon, ask for one of these. I just got a whole box of these in the mail. I re-upped my supply. These are um, measuring tapes, and who doesn't need a measuring tape? I am always dipping into my samples because I give them away so much. I kind of give these away instead of giving business cards that I know will get lost or thrown away. So it's like, hey, remember me? Take out your measuring tape. I will have these at the Frederick Fiber Festival. Let's try it again. Frederick Fiber Festival coming up April 27th. I believe that's the April 27th is Saturday. And I think they're going to be there from 9 to 4, 9 to 5, something like that. I will be there with all my books and and this one will not be for sale, but with many crochet samples that were samples crocheted up for either publication or for a video. And since I can't wear hundreds of these things, I do generally like to either give them away or sell them. So I will have some available for sale on that day. Hola, Jeanette. I'm so glad you could join us. And again, I am not going to be able to get to everybody's comment. Let's see. And again, Jet wants to know how many skeins of the city tweed. You're gonna have to check the video. I'm sorry, I just don't remember. I could look it up, but it would take me a few minutes or just take some time away poking around on the internet. And Barbie is in the chat. Just woke up to 20 inches of fresh snow. Only 8 more weeks of winter. Played with granny squares and post stitches all week. Lots of frogging. Ugh. Uh, Sorry about that, but enjoy that snow while you can. I know my husband would love to plow it, but we're probably not anywhere near each other since we haven't gotten that kind of snow in a while. And Eleanor from Arizona, I want to say a quick hi to you. And thank you for praying for Hannah Wanda. I so appreciate that. Um, and Lynn, it's good to see you, my friend. So glad you could join us for the class yesterday. I'm gonna say last night, but it was yesterday. Um, and Nikki had something in the chat I missed. I hope everything is okay, Nikki. And Wanda Bigelow says, you're on here at 9 in Oregon, so I've missed you a couple of weeks. Good to see you again. I'm home for a while and have some doctor appointments to take care of. Good, Wanda. I hope things are going well for you. I was praying for you this morning, actually. Oh, Jan, I'm sorry you've had so many pop up. It's just a new way of doing it, I guess, on YouTube. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Well, I do need to probably let you all go, but I do want to read something to you. Yeah, thank you, Felicia. And Tara, thank you for being there. And Nangela, it's good to see you in the chat. Oh, thank you. Just happy birthday to your grandma. Thank you so much. She said mine will be 95 on March 15th. Wow. Well, I'm not going to say which day is her birthday, but it's close. It's close. So yeah. Um, well, I wanted to read something to you that was just it profoundly affected me yesterday as I was listening to some music and with a new phone, I still haven't gotten my music set up properly in my phone. So I'm adding new music, and so I had to get out the little box to attach to my computer because I don't have a drive to add CDs in my computer because I guess CDs are no longer the thing. But I still use CDs, and I needed to use the CDs to load songs electronically onto my phone. and pulled out this new album. It's actually an 8-year-old album that I had never heard before by Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson is I say a young man, but he's 40 now, but he's still 20 years younger than me. Uh, is a contemporary Christian artist. So what I'm going to read to you today is a little bit different than let's say reading, a verse out of the scripture, but this is based on the scripture in Romans 8, verse 1, where it talks about we are no longer those who believe in Jesus are no longer under the curse of condemnation. So I was listening to this song and it was just, yeah, I couldn't listen to it dry eyes. So I listened to it a couple times today to get more familiar with it so that I can read it out loud to you. But it's a great song, and I hope you can relate. I certainly do. And it's called "No More." And again, this is by Josh Wilson. Oh, I know it all too well, every inch inside this cell. I'm a prisoner of the choices I regret. The debt's already paid and the bail's already made. So why do I keep coming back again? God, I'm done with holding on to sins that you have saved me from. I'm ready to let go of who I've been. And this is the chorus. No more guilt, no more shame, no more thinking I can't change. Who was I? Who I was is dead and gone. Who I am is moving on. Saved by grace, held by love, because of what your cross has done. You pulled away the prison doors. Hallelujah. I am condemned no more. I am condemned no more. So I step out of the night into your burning light, where my past and all its shadows disappear. You say that I am yours forever. You call me saint instead of sinner. No more guilt, no more shame, no more thinking I can't change. Who I was is dead and gone. Who I am is moving on. You pulled away the prison doors. Hallelujah, God. I am condemned no more. I am condemned no more. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness. Drive the dark doubt away. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness. Fill me with the light of day. No more guilt, no more shame, no more thinking I can't change. Who I was is dead and gone. Who I am is moving on. You pulled away the prison doors. Hallelujah, God. I am condemned no more. Just love the song. And if you want to listen to the song, listen to Josh singing this. And I would even recommend if you watch the video, I have a link in the video description for this song. I would recommend don't watch the music. Don't watch the video. Just close your eyes and listen to the words, because I think they're more effective without the video. But love Josh Wilson's music. He's extremely talented musician, especially on guitar. And if you ever get a chance, if you go to his YouTube channel, he does have a small one there, and I would love to see it grow. There's another song I would love for you to listen to. He does an instrumental version of Amazing Grace, using a pedal board where he plays just by himself, but over recordings again and again. It's hard to explain, but if you can just also, while you're there, listen to his song Amazing Grace. It is truly amazing. He's just drips with talent in this area, but has just a very, very profound love for Jesus the Savior. So anyway, well, I hope that encourages you guys. You always encourage me. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful week. God bless. Bye-bye.